KZ sent me their brand new flagship single DD IEM. It comes in this nice little box here for an affordable price. Nevertheless, because this box looks so premium, I want to do a quick unboxing and review. So let's get started. Here we have the box, and if you wonder how they are called, these are the new era tech Zenith Zenith. KZ means, I think, knowledge Zenith, something like this. So this should be really their flagship IEM. As you can see, it has an open faceplate there with slight industrial kind of look there, the typical KZ 2-pin with this little shell around it. And we can see some other things like the new generation high performance dynamic driver. This is what they put in here. We have 4 position customizable tuning switches. So yes, this one comes just like the DeFi and some others with tuning switches. And we have a full metal alloy housing, which is also pretty nice and reminds me also of the KZ DeFi. And then we have a graph here at the end as well. As you can see here, with the different tuning switches, different colors here coded, you can see you get different bass, but roughly the top end stays the same. There's only one, the blue line here, that shows everything elevated a bit, because we have also an option that can elevate everything a little bit. That makes more sense maybe for devices that don't have so much punch. Otherwise, you can see some specifications there as well, which are quite interesting. They put like a little sticker there for the last specification there. So yeah, last minute checkup. And yeah, let's get it unboxed. It is a pretty premium package, like I said, for KZ. Usually they don't have such things. And yeah, then we have like a flap here with hold with a magnet, and there you can see the the premium box already. You see the IEMs are already out. Usually you find those 2 in here, but I have them in another KZ product, which is the AN01, which they also sent to me, which is a Bluetooth adapter or Bluetooth hook adapter for KZ IEMs with a USB Type-C port and so on. I will show you this later on as well, but this is why they're not in here. What you will find, however, if you take them out, are a lot of ear tips there. And these are not your usual ear tips like the normal spiral, or how they're called, those with the little indentions there, silicone ear tips, but you also have some foam tips here. Though these are not hybrid foam tips, these are real foam tips. I don't like the real foam tips so much, I have to say, and I'm not testing them out with those because I don't like them. The fit and finish, I don't like them. I swapped out the middle one, the M-sized one, with the large ones that were usually put in here, and this is how I tested them. But pretty nice that we have those options there, because we can use those also for other IEMs if we need to. What else comes in the box is a nice carrying pouch. Actually, it's not a pouch, it's made a solid, a bit of a solid kind of pouch here. First of all, also an instruction booklet for the Zenith tuning instructions. So we have those various different options there. You can see it there for tuning switches. And basically what they do, and hopefully you can read it, is like when you switch this one up, it is 1 dB for bass up, 2 dB, 3 dB up. And this is like evaluating everything up a little bit, the third option there, which is all 4 switches up. So very nice instruction booklet there. It's more in there. It's Chinese as well there. And then we have this carrying pouch, which opens like this. It doesn't open fully, as you can see here, but enough to reveal the cable that comes inside. There's a little, like net where you can put maybe something in there as well, like a cable or something. So it's big enough definitely for fitting it with maybe even some tips. There comes this SIM eject tool, which is like the tool that you need to switch the tuning. So those little pins here, you need like this needle. I showed you this with the KZ DeFi if you're interested in particular how it will look like. Let's open this up because I'm pretty interested in how or what kind of cable they ship with their premium IEM. I hope it's a premium cable, but it looks to me like the normal standard cheapo KZ cable, as you can see here. So it's not the braided one, it's like, yeah, the cheaper one. So this is where they cheaped out a little bit, I think. Maybe also because of the price, but I would really like, if you have such premium kind of presentation, have more premium cable there as well. KZ has premium cables there, but they only ship with this cheapo cable. Yeah, too bad for this one. And that's everything that comes into the box. I think this is like a pretty good holder here for your IEMs or other things as well, if you want to. Has a bit of a leathery kind of feeling. There's no branding on top of this as far as I can see, which is quite nice. And the zipper is also pretty solid, I would say. So yeah, pretty nice unboxing experience so far. The only complaint I have is with the cable. So let's take a look at the IEMs themselves. I have them in this box, like I said, the AN01 from KZ with a Bluetooth hook. And let me try to open it. I have already a complaint, is usually you have to open it like this. There's the LED for indicating the power of the case. There's a USB Type-C port, and it doesn't have so much other brandings. You can see here the hinge. There's not so much written here, which is quite nice. So it's a very clean box, but why is there no indentation for putting my finger in to open this up? I think the older boxes from KZ had such thing. It's a bit harder to open it up. There you can see the branding now. It's a little sticker there, KZ, and I think it should say AN01 as model there, and some other things as well. And then we have the IEMs here together with the hook. So let's take it out, one of them at least, and we can take a look at more detail how it will look like. I'm cleaning it up a little bit because, yeah, earwax sometimes. Anyway, this is the IEM itself. You can see the nice faceplate. It really looks like it has an opening here, and I think it is pretty open there because it sounds very airy. Then we have this like little decoration kind of thing. Let me maybe zoom in even further. There we go. Little decoration kind of thing. You can see that the text that we saw before is also written here with the Zenith at the end. And yeah, this one looks pretty decorative. It's a decoration. You cannot do anything there with this one. Then the IEM, you can see, has a nice shape. It's a metal alloy shape, but it's like two pieces there together. This feels like plastic actually. This one could be metal alloy. Maybe they're both. Then you have the nozzle here, not too deep. I have the larger ear tips now on. You can see also that we have like the filter there. An indicator of the filter. There is, I think, a ventilation hole as well there, as you can see. So yeah, it has a back open and a ventilation hole here, so it shouldn't be an issue. And there we see the dip switches that we can change. Put it on the other side, then it should be more logical. So all of them are down because this is the one that I would test with, and I think it sounds the best because it is more, yeah, rounded sound, a bit more rounded sound there that we have with this one. Yeah, the ear hook itself, like I said, AN01, you can just take it apart like this. You can see it has this recessed 2-pin. So only those KZ and TRN, I think is the other company, the sister company from KZ, have this possibility to fit it in. It has a button here, so instead of like touch gestures or something like this, it uses a button. Has an indicator here for yeah, powering the device or connecting and so on. There's a microphone hole as well, as a KZ logo. There's a charging poker pins, and that's it. The battery's inside here. It should hold like 40 hours together with the large case, which is I think only with AAC and SBC. I think with LDAC it will run out a little bit faster. And yes, this also says a lot about the LDAC support that we have here on board as well. The yoke can be like very flexible, as you see, and you can yeah, configure it the way you like it. It's pretty lightweight as well, and the button has a nice click to it, which is also something that I like. One of the highlights, and why is there's a microphone hole, there's only one microphone hole as far as I'm aware. is of course you can use it for calls, but one of the highlights is, and this was a critique that I had with the predecessors, is they also add ANC in transparency mode. So yes, you can get your IEMs with ANC now and transparency mode. Is it in very effective ANC? It's like, depends on the fit that you have, because you have to have a good passive isolation already for the ANC to really do something, but it's like, ANC performance is not so great. What I'm more happy with is the transparency performance, which is up here, because this one really helps then in, because usually when you have them on, the passive noise isolation is already so good that I cannot hear someone talking to me. So having the possibility to press and hold on the left, which is this one here, 2 seconds to switch to the transparency mode is very helpful, because then I can, with the IEM hooks in, still hear when someone is talking to me, which is quite nice. Yeah, otherwise we have like the usual kind of play pause with 1 tap. Like I said, 2 seconds press here, switches between ANC and transparency mode, and I think there's a triple tap to go into gaming mode or low latency mode and such things. And otherwise, like triple tap is, I think, 1 track back, double tap, 1 track forward. Such things are possible. The only thing that is not possible is volume control, as far as I'm aware. With those, so you have to control it via your phone or your device that you're connected to via Bluetooth. Bluetooth 5.4 is supported, which is quite nice. AAC, SBC and LDAC support. LDAC support on my devices had some issues sometimes, so some weird things that in the middle of, like, you pause a video, for example, or a song, you start playing it back and then you have like some echoey effect with the other earbud. It will take a few seconds for it to get again normal, but this is something that I noticed with LDAC support. Maybe it has something to do with my phone or my devices that I tested it out with the Xiaomi 14 Ultra, the same that I'm recording this video with. But otherwise, I had no issues in AAC or SBC. That also works quite nice, especially when you like listening to streaming music. It doesn't make sense to have LDAC anyway. Just if you have flag music, which this sound very, very cool, especially with the Zenith on, they sound very, very cool. And yeah, it will give you like a small example now on how they will fit in my ear. And yeah, then we will take a look at the sound quality. So this is the left one with the ear hook. Like I said, I want to use it with the ear hook. So this is how I fit them into my ear. Just put it in here like this, swap it a little bit, put the ear hook around my ear, and can like adjust it to fit nicely. This is fitting nicely. I have already passive noise isolation on this one very, very nicely. And yeah, it's very comfortable. The only issue I had was with the larger tips on my right ear, because after a few hours, like 2 or 3 hours, it started to hurt a little bit. I had to adjust a little bit, but yeah, it was still a bit hurting. So maybe I have to adjust the tips to some other tips there. It's not the most comfortable KZ IEM. I think the KZ ZAR is a bit more comfortable with its shape being a little bit better adjusted to my ear. But this one is pretty comfortable as well. So this is like second tier in terms of comfortability that KZ can manage, and reminds me a lot of the KZ DeFi that was also very, very comfortable to wear. Let's talk a little bit about the sound of the KZ Zenith. And yeah, they are using a new driver technology that I also have to briefly talk about, and I will do it in a second, but let's talk a little bit about the sound quality of this first. Very, very good. It reminds me, I was talking a lot about the KZ DeFi. That was, I think, the first one that I got with those little dip switches where you can change the sound a little bit. Also, I think when I'm completely incorrect, it should be a single DD driver as well. And it reminds me a lot of those. The tuning is almost the same kind of tuning, but there is a difference, because I was listening back and forth between them. There is a difference. So they fine-tuned this. First of all, they have this new driver that probably helps them to get a little bit more of the surround kind of sound feeling. So a wider sound stage together with the open faceplate, definitely also something to keep in mind. And the other thing is, I think what they did pretty well is the tuning for the high end, because this is where the DeFi sometimes has this bit of sparkle and sibilance, could have something like this. And with those, they redefined it a little bit smoother, so that this sparkle and sibilance will not happen too much. So you don't have like this piercing high-end sound there. In terms of bass, pretty powerful, pretty punchy. I think these are a little bit better in terms of bass than the DeFi there. It might be because of the driver upgrade that they got, because they sound a little bit more punchy. Of course, with the dip switches, you can even raise the bass if you want to. I didn't have to, because I like the default sound configuration they have already, and the other ones are a bit too bassy then, in my opinion, because yeah, they're raising the bass, they're raising a little bit of the high end as well to compensate a bit, but it's too bassy for me. And the default one is the exact one that I really like. I think this is almost the same as with the DeFi, that also had like a very good kind of sound. I was mainly listening to them via Bluetooth, but also via cable. And via cable, the difference between Bluetooth and cable is something that you notice, especially when you are using AAC usually and SBC codec only on them via the Bluetooth hooks, or you're using LDAC. LDAC and cable is pretty close together. Almost cannot hear any difference there. But the cable one, of course, is better. I was using Moondrop Click. I was using the FiO BTR5 for this as well, which is again a Bluetooth one. Compared them with the hooks as well to see how good they are sounding. And I can say these are one of the best single DD drivers I heard so far. Come pretty close to the one that I have heard with the, but it's a different tuning there with the Moondrop Kato. It's a different tuning, Moondrop Kato for sure, but I think the drivers are very good in here, and the sound quality is what I really like. It has enough punch in the bass, and it has enough clarity in the high ends, and it has this openness feeling, something that the DeFi cannot match so much, with those here being like this open. And this is what I really like. So they feel like more full, they feel more airy, they feel a little bit more melodic, I would say, in this case there as well. And you can listen to different genres with this, so pop, rock, but also classical music sound pretty nice. They're very detailed, they're more detailed than the KZ DeFi for sure. This is definitely something that the driver is helping them with for sure. And yeah, talking about driver, I will quickly go through the website of KZ to show you what they did with the driver that makes this single DD driver so special. So let's take a look. Here we have the website of the KZ Zenith new generation flagship single DD IEM, it states here. And we have the full information, and you can see how it is built even. And there we can see already the new driver technology that they're using. Larger voice coil diameter for broader soundstage and enhanced high frequency details. And this is something that I can really say is happening. As I was talking about the sound quality, I felt the larger soundstage, and I felt the better high-end tuning there as well. I thought it's tuning, maybe it has also something to do with the technology. Here you can see it. It is, what is it? Compared to traditional IEMs with 10mm voice calls, KZ demonstrates clear advantages in terms of sound quality. There you can see traditional voice call diameter is like 5mm, and they managed to make it larger, 7mm here. As KZ is also developing their own drivers, this makes a lot of sense. The same goes for the larger magnet volume, stronger transit response, and extended bass stroke. And yes, the bass is pretty fast as well. It sounds very good. You can see here also almost doubled in terms of size, which is also pretty nice. And ultra diaphragm suspension edge, sound reproduction reduces distortion. So distortion is pretty low anyway with all KZ products as far as I'm aware. So this is nice. So they explain a lot here about this new technology that they're using there. That helps them to get like the better sound quality, and probably one of the best sound qualities for a single dynamic driver there. And yeah, extraordinary acoustic tuning for ultimate clarity. Yes, they have, like I said, this tuning is pretty much the same tuning as I heard with the DeFi, maybe slightly a bit adjusted. And they can see again like the different tuning switches, what they do: 1 dB bass boost, 2 dB and 3 dB bass boost. Those are those lines here, as you can see. They're pretty much only bass boosting. I think they're doing a little bit with the highs there as well. They're not showing it here, but at least in my perception, I had like, maybe it's wrong, maybe it's placebo as well. And then you have like the full range boost, which is the blue line, which is like elevating everything a little bit there, which might be helpful if you plug it into smartphones that have weaker DACs on board. Then the built-in professional grade filters. These are the user dip switches here. And this alloy frame, like I said, also reminding me a lot of the DeFi. I think the DeFi also had the same kind of construction, metal construction. Hollow design. This is with the ventilation for superior sound. This is something that I can definitely say. This airiness you can feel for sure with them here. So not sure if this really open back design here, but they have a lot of vent holes there that give you a bit of an airy feeling for sure. Then replaceable cable design, like I showed you. You can replace the cable. If you don't like the cable, you can buy the premium cable from KZ, I think, as well. Or you can just put the ear hooks there on that. I have the Bluetooth ear hooks from KZ as well. And this is the cable that they ship with. It should be more premium cable, I think, in my opinion. Especially when we look at the price, you can see also again the specifications if you missed them at the beginning there. Talking about the price, if I click on buy now here, it goes to the AliExpress website 404, and then it's like getting to another website which is from KZ Brazil Choice Store, and there you can see it costs around 60 euros 39 cents right now. It was around 70 euros, 67 euros 25 cents before, so it's 10% like of a discount right now. For 60 euros, I think, first of all, I would expect the more premium cable there. I think they're sounding very, very nice for 60 euros for sure. The price is right. This is, I can tell you, the price is right. If you calculate on, you want to have a Bluetooth version like the KZ AN01. We can also briefly check it out here in the product list there. Where do they have them? Let me search for AN01. earhooks, also new, as you can see here. And when we go to buy now here, you will see also 404, but then it's around 30 euros. So 30 euros means like together, if you want them together like I have them here, it would be around 90 euros. We can also briefly go to the KZ AN01. As I said already, Bluetooth 5.4, I didn't forget about this. LDAC support as well, AI call noise cancellation. This is something that I will do a sample right after this one here. Zero latency experience. Yes, you have a gaming mode or something like this. Has ANC, which is pretty nice for such ear hooks. It has 4 microphones. Oh, it has 4 microphones. I only saw the 2 here. Maybe there's hiding some other microphone somewhere. There's 4 microphones. It has to have more microphones for. Probably here, those little slits. There are microphones as well. So yeah, it has those microphones. Like I said, perfectly for the transparent mode. ANC mode, because the passive noise isolation is already so good with the Zenith, I didn't notice so much, I have to really say. But maybe with other IEMs you will notice this a little bit better. Sound quality experience, yeah, hi-fi level, LDAC support. They don't do anything big with the changing the frequencies or something like this. And they have, you can see, together with other ones, if you compare it with other ones, they have ANC, transparency mode, the 4 microphones, Bluetooth 5.4 with longer range, better battery life, so 40-hour battery life with the case. I can confirm that it's like 1 work week. I use them as my call IEMs basically, or call headphones, and it was working very, very nice. And the selling price is also not so high. Industry first earhook with ANC, so yes, this is pretty good. Though, like I said, I couldn't get the ANC effect being really effectful. I like the transparency a lot better than the ANC here. And yeah, they pair it together with the Zenith already. This is why probably KZ also sent it to me. And this is the highlight, the transparency mode, because you can have the earhooks on and you can still hear what when someone's talking to you in conditions like cycling, and you want to get music still, but you also want to hear what's going on around you. Daily communication as well makes a lot of sense there. And yeah, you can see how it is built, which is also sometimes very nice, where the microphones are hiding. And you can see here's one microphone, there's one microphone. So this is the 4 microphones, because yeah, each earhook has 2 microphones, then you get 4 microphones. Yeah, okay, I get it. LDAC support is pretty nice because you get the highest audio quality and flag. Like I said, sometimes I had some issues there. Sometimes I also wish that KZ would have like an app to be able to do also firmware updates to fix those issues. It might have something to do with my phone, might have something to do with the Wi-Fi or other Bluetooth headsets or Bluetooth frequencies that are like yeah, interfering here a little bit, but this is something that yeah, you get here with this. Otherwise, AAC and SBC support is there as well. The gaming mode support as well, so low latency. You can see 8 hours battery on a single charge. I can confirm, like I said, I almost have 2 days of them for calling, because I'm not like in calls or meetings all the time, but 2 or 3 days almost possible. If I have like each day like 2-3 hours meeting, it is working. And you can charge it 4 times, then you get 40 hours of battery life, and this I can confirm for sure with them. And then there's the 4 modes there, the gaming mode, which has 55 milliseconds latency. If you want to game with those, especially with the IEMs, it's possible to do those. I know that some gamers say, Bluetooth not for gaming, but with 55 milliseconds, casual games, definitely possible. Then the standard mode, then we have of course the noise cancellation mode and the transparency mode. I like the standard mode and the transparency mode the most. The noise cancellation mode, maybe I have to be in a bit more noisy environment to test it out, but yeah, was not so effective for me. The transparency mode was more a game changer for me. Then yeah, faster, more stable transmission, speed, performance, significance, enhance on users. I can fully agree with this. I can rock throughout the whole house and have no issues with this. At least in SBC and AAC mode. With LDAC, of course, you cannot go so far away, because otherwise the connection will break down. And also when you're using LDAC, I think the battery life is for AAC and SBC. It's not for LDAC with the 8 hours. Get maybe half of it. I'm not so sure. Maybe KZ can also state next time not only the hours here with maybe they can also like say SBC, AAC so and so many hours and LDAC so and so many hours. That would be very helpful. Lightweight and stable to wear. Yes, I can completely. You don't notice that you have the earhooks on. It's pretty nice. It reminds me a lot of those open ear earhook design headphones that you have. It's not so heavy, and yeah, a 2-pin connector I showed you already, and yeah, the key functionality there. You can see again, click once to play pause, click double to on the left ear to last song, on the right ear to the next song, triple tapping switching between game and standard modes, and 2 seconds holding between transparency and ANC modes. And on the other one you can start Siri as well, or reject a call, which is nice. And there you have some product information as well. Yeah, it's pretty nice. The case itself is also holding. You can see the case has a bit of a bigger case for sure. It's holding also other IEMs than the case at Zenith, even a bit larger IEMs. The biggest that I managed to fit in were the AZ16 Pro, I think they're called. So they're the one with the BA drivers, very large shell and housing. They fit in as well, even with the largest tips that I put in there. I had to press it a bit down. Sometimes they were still connected there. You have to be aware of this, that depending on what earbuds you want to use or IEMs you want to use, you might run into some space issues, but usually they fit in almost perfectly. So that's it about this one as well. So now you have like an overview about those here. And like I said, 60 euros for the IEMs, and then around 30 euros for the wireless option there is, I think, a good price. You definitely get the best sound for this price. You don't get the best ANC, I think, but you get good transparency for this, and definitely the best sound with LDAC here on Bluetooth if you want to have this, and the option of course to just swap it out to the cable and then plug it into your DAP or your smartphone that still has a 3.5mm headphone jack if you want to. So pretty nice, definitely a recommendation for me. And now we check out the microphone quality of those 4 microphones that we have here on the AN01. So now I'm testing the microphone here on the KZ AN01 paired together with the KZ Zenith. Very nice sounding IEMs if you're interested in those. But you will hear already that they have a little bit of a sound piercing metallic kind of sound at the end. I think this is the same issue they have with the KZ Carol, or had with the KZ Carol. Here I think even more pronounced. I'm not sure what they're doing, but something is off there, that even in this quiet condition here, the ANC or whatever it is, or the algorithms are adding a metallic sound to every last word that I speak. So I don't want to bother you more with those ones here with the sound, because it is, in a pinch I would use them maybe for calling, but most of the time I would say, yeah, I call you back probably if someone calls me, because I don't want anyone to torture with this metallic kind of screechy sound that you will hear right now. Otherwise the microphones are pretty nice. If they wouldn't have this screechy sound, then I would say top notch there. Maybe not so much in wind or windy conditions or in noisy conditions, but because I think the ANC is not the best there. But in every day-to-day conditions, I would say sound would be nice if they wouldn't have this metallic screechy sound at the end of every word that I'm speaking. So in the end, the KZ Zenith are a top-notch IEM. They sound very nice for single DD driver, probably the best KZ single DD driver that I ever heard. It is very nice that they have the dip switches, but I can miss out the dip switches but have a better cable in the box itself. That would be more of my liking. But I know that some people like to have the dip switches to fine-tune their sound, and yeah, great that they have such options there as well. Otherwise, very airy kind of sound, good soundstage, good music. You can listen to almost everything with those, and they sound very nice. The AN01 that are the earhooks, the Bluetooth earhooks that I have paired them up with, are pretty good as well. The microphone is a bit of a trash can, or at least it hears like if you have a trash can on your ear and listens. If you listen to it, hopefully they can fix it somehow. Maybe even with firmware update or with a newer version or something like this. This is something they have to do. I would say then they would be good. Transparency is very nice. ANC, it's okay-ish, is there. And otherwise sound is pretty great. LDAC support, your FLAC files will sound very nice with those here. And what is also cool is they have multi-point support. I didn't figure it out until now that they have multi-point support, so you can connect them. I was like trying to connect them to a new phone to do the microphone thing, and then I noticed I cannot, because they were connected not only to one device, this one here, but also to another device, so I had to turn both off. So pulling connections is not possible here, but multi-point support is there, so I can connect it to my laptop, for example, and my phone, and when a call comes in, it will switch from the laptop to the phone and I can take the call, which is pretty nice. But if I want to repair them, I have to disconnect them from all devices they are connected to. There's no pairing button here on the case, which might be nice. KZ, if you're listening, adding a pairing button or something like this for easy pairing, or allowing us to pull connections. Like if you have a device, if you have 3 devices it has been connected to earlier, and you're connected to 2 devices and you want to connect to the other device that it was connected to, then one of those devices, the oldest devices probably, can turn off, and then you can pull the connection to the newer device. It's a possibility. I think for 30 euros, maybe next time you can put it in. Such feature would be very appreciated by the users as well. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with the Zenith. With the price is also right for the Zenith and the AN01, especially the AN01 you can use like for newer IEMs as well, or older IEMs, depending on what you have. So all in all, I'm pretty happy. I will put down the links below to the KZ Zenith as well as the AN01, so you have my setup that I tested it with as well there. And thanking KZ for sending me this, and this was a bit of hard to get, but these are finally arriving again on my new location, so thanks for that, and a thumbs up for everyone that was listening to the end. If you have some questions regarding the Zenith or the AN01, you can write them down in the comment section. That's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Until the next time. Bye.